This is Let's Talk Big, the Big Read, with Jane Berger and Jen Hazel. The Owens Community College Campus Read is taking place now and throughout the semester, with the goal of bringing awareness of different perspectives through books. The Campus Read book is What My Bones Know by acclaimed journalist Stephanie Foo. It's the story of her reckoning and healing by investigating the little understood science behind complex PTSD and how it's shaped her life. Here, sharing their insight about the book, What My Bones Know, is Owens Community College Director of Library Services, Jane Berger, and Professor of English, Jen Hazel.
So, Stephanie, do you have any other author friends?
I do. I've made most of my author friends since the book came out, and I am very grateful for them. I am neighbors, actually, with Lee Tran, who wrote House of Six, which is a wonderful story about being a refugee in America and how she was able to survive that really traumatizing, intense process. Kat Cow is a very, very good friend of mine. Mm-hmm. She sort of helped be my book doula and helped that come to fruition. She wrote Mean Ghosts, which is a story about losing her mother when she was a teenager or a preteen. And she loves Daniel Olacone. He's written many books, and he's also a radio producer. He's been a great support. Chen Julie Wang. Lots of pretty awesome authors out there.
It's got to be such a great feeling to have a close group of people who also do what you do, know the trials and difficulties, and to be able to encourage one another when something's a little tougher, or the triumphs and the victories as well.
Well, that's provided they talk about writing. Do you talk about writing,
yeah,
Stephanie, or do you talk about other things?
Most of the time we just talk about other things.
Good point. Fair.
I think that's good, and I think sometimes we wonder, because you talk with people that you work with, but writing can be an alone process in the beginning and stuff. So it's interesting to think, so you guys talk about much other things, and that's cool.
Exactly.
If anything, I really like having memoirist friends because I kind of like the shortcut of getting to know their sort of intimate traumas in this weird way where I can learn how to take care of them almost in our friendship. Like having a real guidebook to them.
Yeah, that's interesting, especially because normally you can cut to the chase, because if you've read what they wrote, then you're already there. Like, okay, great, here we go. Yeah.
I know all about you.
No, that's really awesome. We're going to shift gears.
Yeah, just kind of maybe if you are agreeable to us asking just some wild and off the beaten path kind of questions. If you were not a writer or a podcaster, what do you think you would do?
You know what, I was thinking about leaving this industry, actually. I was thinking about becoming a librarian. I thought that would be a really fun job.
Oh, that's what I am.
Oh my gosh, I wish you could see her face right now, Stephanie.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'd be happy to mentor you.
That's really cool. Cool. So, okay. So I mentioned earlier, I was like, if you've Googled yourself lately. Have you Googled yourself lately?
I have, yes. I try not to do it too often, but I, for some reason, had to do it the other day. I can't really remember why.
And did you learn anything interestingly new about yourself that you didn't know?
Not really. I saw that one of the prompts was to Google Stephanie Foo's husband. And I was like, I wonder what happens if you do that. And so I clicked on that. And there was a link to our wedding registry, which was really embarrassing. And I had to take it off.
We love the internet. As a writer, what would you say would be your spirit animal or your mascot or your avatar if you had one?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. As a writer...
Or even as a person, what's your spirit animal?
Yeah.
lately I've been feeling like a cat because I've been feeling very lazy and like I sleep all the time.
I can relate, though I'm usually a slug. Now as we get into the spring and the summer and the days are longer and the weather's warmer, I bump myself up a bit, but winter is just my sweatpants season.
Yeah.
And you're growing a human, and that takes a lot of energy. Like, you're always multitasking while you're growing a human.
Yeah.
So I remember that I slept through pretty much my entire first pregnancy. So
One of the best pieces of advice I had gotten when I had just had my first daughter was actually from my doctor, and she said, don't get dressed at all for like the first 3 weeks. And I thought, what do you mean don't get dressed? She said, because you need to remind yourself that you're still recovering and you need to rest, and people will come over, just to see how you're doing, how the baby's doing. And if you're in pajamas or lounge clothes, they're going to remember that, oh, she's, still kind of recovering. I shouldn't stay all day. Sometimes people are just so excited to check in that their excitement is also exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie, we have one last question for you. Can you give us a little preview about what we're going to hear you talk about when you're here next week on the 27th?
It was a little bit about what you guys were just talking about how to advocate for yourself in a therapist's office, in a mental health environment, how to try and find the health care that you need and that you deserve.
And it's not easy. And it's exhausting. It's a job in itself, I think, to find the best, find those who you mesh with, who might be taking new patients. I mean, there's just so many angles and hoops that you sometimes have to go through. But the Perrysburg, Toledo, Findlay area is eagerly awaiting your visit.
I mean, we are just
thank you
thrilled.
so much.
Oh, no. You're so welcome. You'll be ready for a very warm welcome. Toledo warm welcomes everyone. So
That's right.
We're in the Midwest. So that's going to do it for us today. Please make sure that you run, not walk, to get here to campus on April 27th at 10 a.m. in the CFPA Theater on the Toledo campus to see Stephanie Foo. She's going to talk. She's going to sign books at 10 a.m. at the CFPA Theater on our Toledo campus. You can also watch the live stream link at 10 a.m. The link you can find on our website at owens.edu/humanities/read, owens.edu/humanities/read. And if you miss those, go to the Findlay campus and check her out there on April 27th at 3:30 p.m. in the Findlay Owens campus in room 111. And she will be talking and signing books there as well. So please run to listen to Stephanie talk. This has been a year in the making, and we are thrilled. So Stephanie, thank you so much for taking your time to talk with us today. When this goes out and it's played on the radio, I just know people are going to be thrilled and be so excited to be able to hear you, and then we know they're going to run over to see you when we're here in the CFPA. So on behalf of myself, Jen Hazel, I have Jane Berger, and I have Stephanie Foo! Woo-woo!
Thank you so much. So excited to meet everyone.
This was part 1. Please join us next week for part 2, where we're going to finish hearing some wonderful, interesting things from Stephanie Foo. Please run, don't walk, out today, April 27th at 10 a.m. to see Stephanie Foo at the CFPA Theater on the Toledo campus. You can live stream her, and you can find that link through our website, owens.edu/humanities/bigread, owens.edu/humanities/bigread. And then she will also be at our Findlay area campus in room 111 at 3:30 p.m., where she will be talking and signing books at both locations. So don't miss her. So that'll do it for us today. On behalf of myself and Jane and Stephanie Foo, we will see you later today, April 27th. Keep talking big.
Join us again for Let's Talk Big, the Big Read with Jane Berger and Jen Hazel.